Maruti Suzuki has placed a special emphasis on its S-CNG range, with the brand crossing the 10 lakh milestone a few months ago. Currently, it has the largest passenger CNG cars portfolio, with the first models coming almost a decade ago. From the Alto to the Ertiga, most Maruti models have an optional CNG trim, and it is the 2022 Maruti Suzuki Ertiga that we have with us today, which is not only a facelifted model but runs on CNG too. We primarily associate CNG cars with commercial and fleet vehicles, but even for a private car user with terms of daily commuting and daily runabouts, a CNG car makes a lot of sense, especially with fuel prices having an upward trajectory. Which is why we have the Maruti Suzuki Ertiga CNG with us. The primary aim of a CNG car is of course to reduce costs, but is there more to it? Does the Ertiga CNG miss out on any basic features? Well, that's why we have the car with us to find out all these things. Now, before we go into other details, let us begin with the efficiency and cost of running first. So, the claimed efficiency on the Ertiga CNG is 26.08 km per kg, and with current price of CNG at 75.61 rupees per kg, the per kilometer running cost comes to about rupees 3. At the same time, the cost per kilometer on the petrol model comes to about 4.7. Given that when driven with petrol, the Ertiga has a claimed fuel efficiency of 20.51 kilometers, and the current price of petrol in Delhi is about 96.71 rupees per litre. So, the savings per kilometer on CNG is about rupees 1.7, which may look insignificant, but over a long period of time, it will accrue into big savings. A point of concern here is that with about 9 to 10 kg of CNG the tank can hold at a time, the total CNG only range of the Ertiga will be about 200 to 240 kilometers. After that, one will have to switch to petrol or keep switching between petrol and CNG modes. Maruti offers CNG option on the VXI and ZXI manual models currently, and when compared to the petrol models in the same trim, they are about 95,000 rupees more expensive. While the cost of acquisition is more for CNG models, the running costs will be lower and the difference can be recouped in less than 4 to 5 years of running. The Ertiga CNG was launched in February 2020, and between April and December 2021, the CNG variant made up for a total of 41% of Ertiga's total sales. Now, this is a testimony to the fact that the Ertiga CNG is making its presence felt in the Indian market. With Maruti aiming to sell over 6 lakh CNG vehicles in 2022, the Ertiga CNG is primed to play an important role, even if as a privately owned MPV option. The design of the Ertiga stays the same as before, save for the front end, where a new winged grille adds a sense of freshness to the look. The 15-inch alloys get a new design too, and there's a strip of chrome at the rear, rounding up the changes on the exterior. Our test model was a ZXI trim, which means that it had fog lamps on the front bumper as well. Step inside the cabin and you see that the dashboard layout stays the same. But the faux wood trim and the seat upholstery is new and looks premium too. What is also new are the SmartPlay Studio infotainment system and the start-stop button. The infotainment misses out on the reversing camera but does get Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Of course, the instrument panel now gets a small MID at the center which shows CNG to petrol ratio and CNG levels. So that's a new addition too. The outgoing model's 1.5 litre petrol has been replaced by a more efficient 1.5 litre dual jet petrol engine. The new dual jet unit makes about 102 brake horsepower and 137 Newton meters, which is 1 bhp and 1 Newton meter down on the outgoing model. The dual fuel petrol CNG model develops a marginally lower 99 bhp and 136 Newton meters in petrol mode and 87 bhp and 121.5 Newton meters when running on CNG. So we drove the Ertiga CNG in the petrol mode and the CNG mode, and while there is a noticeable difference, most notably when you're trying to pull the car from low speeds, there is that slight hint of lag, and otherwise the torque curve is very flat, the delivery is very linear, and therefore the car has that shove even in the mid-range when you're trying to make quick overtaking maneuvers. Apart from that, one very perceptible difference between the petrol mode and the CNG mode on the new Ertiga is that when you switch over to CNG, the engine is much more noisier. The Ertiga CNG can only be started in the petrol mode, and then one needs to switch to CNG mode. The CNG tank itself is neatly packaged in the boot, and while it does eat up into half of the boot space with all seats up, more space can be liberated by folding the third row seats. The Ertiga continues to be a spacious 7-seater with decent comfort and airiness even in the last row, and especially on the middle row. To be honest, the drop in performance is minimal. It has all the features you'll ever need, and it continues to be a good, comfortable car for big families, especially in the city. Yes, there will be times when you will be stuck in long queues at a CNG filling station, but the kind of costs you will save over a regular petrol model is something that you'll accrue over a long time. So, the Ertiga CNG makes for a lot of sense in the urban environment, and yes, not to mention the fact that you will be kinder to the environment.